This is Genex Rant 3 here, my second attempt in recording this because I think it's my computer or my internet connection, I'm not sure, but one of them is screwing up on me, and anyway, I just want to go on a Genex Rant, so sorry that it's laggy, but really all you need to do is hear me, and I'll just show some things every once in a while. But long story short, I really like Genex, and the reason why is because back when I started first playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in like actually this is first I got back into it. Everyone did, ninth grade. My first exceed, not exceed, my first synchro was actually this card Genex, and I was so happy to get this because everyone had synchros back then, and I was really new to the game because I only got back into it because I was selling my brother's old cards to people, and my other friend said, "Hey, get into Gravekeepers. It's a good deck." And so I started using Gravekeepers, and ever since I started using it, it became like a top tier deck. So then I quit Gravekeepers because I got this uh, Synchro, and I'm like, I want to make a Genex deck because Genex are more fun anyway. And ever since I quit Gravekeepers, the ban list hit, and I just started laughing and laughing, and I thought it was funny. Anyway, so the point of Genex revolves around this guy right here. He's Genex controller. It even says on the card that you can talk to any Genex guy because he's cool like that, pretty chill, and you pretty much sync him with, or at least you're supposed to back then. This guy, Undine, Blast Fan, Gaia. It's a little laggy on my computer. There you go. I think that's. Oh, there we go. Furnace. And lastly, we have, actually no, sorry, this is different. This is not what you're supposed to sing with. So these four motherfuckers. All right. So with those guys, you can make the basic Geogenics, Hydrogenics, Windmillgenics, and Thermalgenics. Now, don't get me wrong, you can stick with other things. I'm just saying that this is how it was supposed to be made. As you can see, furnace, after Genex controller hits, becomes a giant furnace. Um, Blast fan becomes a giant windmill. You see where I'm going with this? I'm not saying it's not okay you can sing with. I'm just saying it looks kind of like it's supposed to be correlating. Anyway, so there are those, and then there are cards. There was a card that was supposed to search out Genex controller, and a lot of these cards didn't come out till a lot later. But here are the main Genex cards, not Genex Ally, not our Genex, just Genex cards. We have Neutron. Oh, sorry. There's Neutron, but okay, this is Solar. We have Genex Army. He's Opposer Monarch. We have Power Planner, which I used to use a lot, but in a pure Genex deck. And he's actually pretty good, but he ended up being just Death Father and Light Food. Recycle, who can machine duplication. He works out really well. Genex Spare. This used to be what I used to use back when I didn't have extra controllers, but I'll tell you why I don't use him anymore. Genex Worker. He had a good combo. Genex Searcher. He really it's like because it says it's kind of like a Mystic Tomato, but there's only like one good combo with him. Genex Doctor. And I tried to make a deck based off this. It didn't really work out. Genex Turbine. And this guy's actually pretty good, but the only problem with this is that, first of all, if his effect's negated, then he's a 1400, beat stick, and that's not much. But if you get like two of them out, then they become like 2200 attack each, and I thought it was pretty good at the time, but then they kept getting run over and shit, and it just didn't work out. And then Neutron. because Neutron searched out controller, and now Neutron is being used for like everything else, like uh Black Salvo and just other machine tuners, except for Genex controller, which I thought was really sad. And then a little bit later, our Genex came out, so it gave us our Genex Turbo, our Genex Magma. By the way, my friend actually made an OTK with this, but it revolved around Ultimate Offering, and that was really situational. Our Genex Overseer, our Genex Ultimum, which really sucks to be honest, because you don't, I don't even see a point for running that card. I mean, unless you like want to use like reuse Undyne or something, but it's still pretty bad. Crusher. And I'm not saying like all these are really good or anything. I'm just saying you can find a way to combo with them. Argent's Oracle, which I have a play with that gets me Vindicate in one turn, and Argent's Accelerator, which basically helps that Oracle. Which not that Blasphemy helps the Oracle, but Accelerator kind of helps. And then back when those were just out, I tried to make a Genex deck, and shit, my mom's making some. I tried to make a deck with those, and it kind of worked, but at the same time, it was really slow, really inconsistent, and all I had was pretty much Machina Fortress defending my ass. So then, Genex Ally came out, and Genex Ally Remote replaced Genex Bear. I mean, his defense is a lot better. You can use Machine Dupe on him. It can turn any tuner into a controller, same level, so he kind of made Spare dead. Changer, which can combo with Tri-Arm and the tuners and stuff, and it's really funny. I'll show you guys a combo later, maybe. Well, if I have time, because this thing's laggy, probably not gonna like watch. Crusher, which I used in my Dark Genex deck, and the Dark Genex deck was actually that bad, but I don't know, I didn't think it was that fun to play, so I kind of took it apart. Power Cell, which you might think is really good, but I only found use for him when I used Genex of Justice, which is Ally of Justice plus Genex, because Ally of Justice is a horrible archetype. So I said, let's go for it, and let's put Genex in it. Chemister, which would have been better if it said any monster, not just Genex monsters. Wait, it says Genex. Yeah, just face up Genex monsters. If this is any monster, this would be OP. People will start using this. This is so good, but no, it says Genex monsters. Because what you would do is go like Canister, and then they attack you. Now you're light. There's Genex Volcanon, Volcanon, one of those two. This guy, he's alright, but like you need everything to be on fire, so that's kind of a bad thing. But if you if you're versing a fire opponent, I think. No, this is face up one fire Genex, and never mind, it sucks. There's like no fire Genex in the game, unless you like use a DNA transplant or one of the changers or something. Bellflame, which I want to find a way to combo with this, because you can use DD Crow to actually raise his attack. So I want to try to figure out a way to make this card good, but I'm still not there yet. Genex Ally Solid, who would be a lot better if he was actually a water, but he's not. So, I mean, if he was a water, you'd place him on the field, trigger himself, and then you draw 2 cards. That's pretty good. I mean, does Card D do the same thing? I think it might, but Card D ends your turn, so Solid doesn't. Birdman, who screw all you haters. Since this card came out, when this card came out, I first thought it's gonna suck, but then I found a combo with this Blast Fan and Divine Wind, and I don't know if I found it first or someone else found it first, but I came up with the idea on my own. I don't know if someone else also came up with it on their own, but I actually have a deck called Chaotic Germs. If you want to check it out, I have a link to. I'm still like editing it and stuff, because I'm just trying to make it more consistent. And so far, it's working. But this card, back when this card was like $3, I told my friend to stock up on this card. And he said, why? I said, because it's gonna go up. And then now it's $6, and screw him. Yeah. And then there's Reliever, who I tried to use at one point, but you have to like run like a lot of counter traps and stuff like Solemn Judgment, Dark Bribe, and even then it's probably gonna be during your opponent's turn, not your turn. And then there's Duradark, who I tried to use with DNA Transplant, but you know, it's still kind of iffy. You know, okay, I don't want it. No, I'm making a video. Okay. And please ignore that. Okay. Because you know, moms don't get things. And so I actually made a few decks building with Genex. But let me show you the synchros, I guess. Okay, here are the original 4. There is, oh, it's not showing up on the screen. There we go. Windmill Genex, Hydrogenex, Geogenex, and Thermal Genex. These are the original 4. Then later, where this one, that actually came out a while ago too. Okay, so there was Locomotion Argenex, which really good, or was really good in my Chaos Germ deck, and I took out Chaos Work with BLS, and that turned out better. Vindicate, which really screws over people. They don't really understand this card, and so when you bring it out, they're like, the fuck, this card exists? For those of you who don't know his effect, pretty much your opponent can't target it for an attack, and when it kills a monster, you get to search one Genex from your deck and put it into your hand, which I think is OP. Only problem is you can Book of Moon it, you can Dark Hole it, Soul Taker, that one chain, Phoenix Chain, Baylor. I know you can't Baylor it because then it'd be like your turn, not your opponent's main phase. So yeah, Vindicate. And then this card actually came out, I think, with the Argenex. So Genex Ally Axel, and this card is he's pretty good. People are hating on him, but I think he's the fact that he says only machines, not Genex, you know, can really help machine deck. The only thing is that he needs a Genex tuner, but you can use Birdman. I mean, I've seen people use Birdman before. So what people can do or used to do was this guy dump a card. You can actually get Ally of Justice Unlimiter and double the attack of a machine monster or something. And then if you like use this or that, you know, some combination of that, you got a huge giant beat stick. And this I like this guy. I still use him. There's Triforce, which came out a lot. I don't want to say a little later, a year later, I guess. But I really like this guy. I use him in Chaotic Germs all the time. I love his light effect. His fire effect's iffy. I don't know how many things fire guys to sync with. And then his earth effect, still pretty good on its own. But I don't think with his attack, his earth effect would be, you know, amazing. Because if he had more attack, then his earth effect would be, you know, just like Ancient Gear. And then lastly, Dual Terminal, bam, Tri-Arm. My friend got this one for me a long time ago, and I thank him a lot for it. But I don't, the only reason I use him nowadays is for the Dark effect, because what I do is I go a tuner, or like, it has to be controller, but you know, I can use remote as well. Plus Changer, I change them into a light, and then I sync for this guy. I discard a card, pop a light, draw a card, and I think it's a funny combo. Also, you can use Changer for Ally just Decisive Armor, which is also funny. And so, I kind of gave up on most of the archetype because it wasn't doing so well. I'm like, this card deck's not comboing so well, and the only other card that actually like, relates to Genex at all was I think it's Machine Assembly Line, because there's a Genex controller on it, and like besides that, I don't really think there are any other Genex cards I can't remember if I'm missing a card. I don't think I'm missing a card though. So a week or two, I think it was a week ago, my friend actually told me, "Hey, Cyrus, I found this card with a Genex art on it," and I'm like, "Wait, you mean machine dupe? No, not machine dupe. Machine assembly line. I already have that. Oh, actually, I think I have it. I might have just traded it like a long time ago." And he said, "No, it's actually something different." I'm like, "What's it called?" He's like, "Final Gesture," and I'm confused as fuck. And then he actually gives it to me. He got two, and I don't know if you can see the card really well, but it's a Genex Spare giving Genex Controller a flower. And I almost cried when I saw this because, one, if you look on Genex Spare, this is made a lot beforehand, by the way, he's actually holding a flower. And it's the same flower that's used in the artwork. It's just a little different angled, but that's Genex. Oh, wait, let me see if I can try to find it. My fingers are not. There we go. Genex Spare is giving the flower the flower. And if you look at Jen's controller, you'll see like this wire popping out of Jen's controller, and so it looks kind of like he's crying. And I thought that was like heartbroken. I got heartbroken when I saw that because no one uses Spare anymore. And well, first of all, no one uses Gen X, but even then, no one uses Spare anymore. And so Final Gesture's giving a flower. I felt so like emotional. I am a Gen X person. So when I got this card, I'm like, I will figure out a way to make more of the other Gen X compatible again. Compatible, competitive, well, something like that. I'm not good with words. Um, but I said I'll figure out a way to make it better. And I actually did. But I used one of the things for online help because the Undine thing was already online. I'm sorry, I cheated. I used that thing to help me. But there's this, and there's also the fact that Undine gives you Genex controller. So this guy, and let me find him. He's somewhere in my shit. Here you go. And this guy. Um, these guys combo really well because usually you're going to have this. You are going to have the Genex controller in your hand from Undine or just drawing it. Some way you're gonna get started. Even saying it actually runs saying it. I actually made a deck and they're all in purple sleeves, which is why you saw some of the cards in purple sleeves and some of the cards in non-sleeves. So and then Final Gesture. Oh wait, no, this is Final Gesture. This card just like gets everything out. I mean, this card is pretty much begging for a Levier or a Zenmaines to just come out and do something, you know? So I remade my Gen X deck, and I will probably post a build later, but I'm not gonna do it now because I'm still in the testing phase. But it runs those two. It runs Changer. It runs Blast Fan. It runs Crusher. And the deck's not doing that bad. I might take out the Crushers because although Crusher is a good card, I usually find that I sync more with it than I actually use this effect. So I might just find the machine card. I don't know, maybe a Neutron to get on my controller. But anyway, that's the deck pro. Oh, well, that's my Genex rant. I hope you enjoy. Oh my gosh, 20 minutes. Oh gosh. Sorry you guys had to like listen to all of that, but I guess if you're still watching, then it was your fault. All right, this is Genex Rant 3 signing out. Peace.